You have been told that love is a mystery, a sacred, emotional connection that transcends logic. This is the most effective lie ever engineered. You have been taught to be kind, to be accommodating, to place a woman on a pedestal, believing your devotion would be returned in kind. And yet, you stand here today, witnessing a reality that directly contradicts this programming. You see loyalty discarded, sacrifices ignored, and your devotion treated as a weakness to be exploited. The confusion you feel is not a personal failure. It is the result of playing a game where you were deliberately handed the wrong rule book. Today, we discard that rule book. We burn it. In its place, we will install a new operating system based on the cold, hard mechanics of reality. Our architect for this new reality is one of history's most uncompromising realists, Arthur Schopenhauer, a philosopher who looked upon humanity not as a collection of souls seeking romance, but as a biological organism in the grip of a ferocious, blind impulse he called the will to life. Understand this, and you will understand everything. Schopenhauer wasn't a poet. He was a biologist of the metaphysical. He saw that beneath the thin veneer of civilization, courtship, and romance, there is only the will. The will to life is the species' insatiable desire to continue, to replicate, to survive at any cost. It is a blind, unconscious force that uses individuals as its puppets. You think you choose your partner based on her laugh, her intellect, her soul. Schopenhauer would call you a fool. You are merely the vessel for the will. Your love is the bait the will uses to trick you into serving its primary objective: reproduction under the most optimal conditions possible. The will is indifferent to your happiness. It is indifferent to your sacrifice. It seeks only strength, health, and resources for the next generation. And this is the key. The will manifests differently in men and women, because their roles in this biological mandate are fundamentally different. The man's role is to provide the seed and the resources. The woman's role is to select the best possible seed and secure the best possible environment for her offspring. Her attraction is not a choice. It is a calculation performed by the deepest, most ancient part of her brain. This is the foundation upon which we will build our understanding. Forget everything society has told you about equality in attraction. It is a lie. We are dealing with biological imperatives. Let us begin by dismantling the central myth of romantic love, the idea of a soulmate. This myth is a tool of social conditioning designed to make a man compliant and servile. It suggests that his fulfillment lies in finding the one and devoting himself to her. The reality, as dictated by the wilted life, is a brutal, transactional marketplace. This marketplace operates on a single, unwavering law. The law is called hypergamy. Hypergamy is the female biological imperative to seek and secure a partner of equal, or, ideally, higher status than herself. The word comes from the Greek, hyper, meaning above, and gamos, meaning marriage. She is programmed to marry up. This isn't a moral failing. It is a feature, not a bug. It is the will's quality control mechanism. The will, speaking through her instincts, asks a series of cold questions about you. Is he strong? Is he resourceful? Is he respected by other men? Can he protect me and my potential children? Your poetry, your sensitivity, your unwavering devotion, these are not high-value currencies in this marketplace. They are, at best, secondary. At worst, they signal a lack of the primary traits. The currency that truly matters in this domain is what we call sexual market value, or SMV. SMV is the objective measure of your desirability as a mate. It is a composite score of your physical fitness, your financial resources, your social status, your confidence, and your perceived future potential. A man's SMV is dynamic. He can build it over time through discipline in the gym, focus in his career, and the development of his purpose. A man at 40 can be vastly more attractive than he was at 20. A woman's SMV curve is tragically different. It is tied almost exclusively to her youth and beauty, direct indicators of fertility and health. Her SMV peaks in her early 20s and begins a slow, inevitable decline. This brings us to the next brutal law of this reality, the wall. The wall is the point in time where a woman's sexual market value begins its terminal decline. It is typically around the age of 30, when the visible signs of aging can no longer be ignored, and her fertility window begins to narrow. The modern world tries to pretend the wall does not exist. It produces endless articles about how women in their 30s and 40s are in their prime. This is a coping mechanism. It is a marketing campaign designed to fight an unwinnable war against biology. The will to life does not read these articles. It only sees diminishing returns. This is why a woman's strategy is front-loaded. She must leverage her peak SMV to secure the highest value man she can access. This is the phase of her life where she will explore her options, using dating apps and social events as a hypergamous auditioning stage. The nice guy, the beta provider, is often kept in orbit during this phase. He is Plan B. He provides attention, resources, and emotional support. While she pursues the high-status men, she is biologically driven to desire the alpha. She may enjoy your company. She may even say she loves you, but her instincts are scanning the horizon for a better deal. This is the logic of hypergamy. When her peak value begins to wane, and the high-status men she pursued refuse to commit, her strategy shifts from trading up to locking down. Suddenly, the qualities of the nice guy, stability, devotion, resources, become far more appealing. She is not falling in love with you. She is making a pragmatic decision as she approaches the wall. She is cashing out of the marketplace before her currency becomes worthless. To accept this is to free yourself from immense pain. Her choice was never about your intrinsic worth as a soul. It was about your utility to her biological imperative at a specific point on her SMV timeline. This is the cold calculus operating beneath the surface of every interaction. So, how does a man navigate this reality? How does he move from being a pawn of the will to a player who understands the game? He must master the concept of frame control. The frame is the context of any social interaction. It is the underlying set of assumptions and power dynamics. Whoever's frame is dominant controls the interaction. The default female frame is one of romanticism and emotional validation. In her frame, your purpose is to make her feel good, to chase her, to prove your worthiness to her. When you operate within her frame, you are automatically positioned as the supplicant. You are the one auditioning for a role in her life. To be a man of substance is to have your own frame, a frame built on your mission, your purpose, your principles. Your frame is your reality. A woman is invited into your reality. She can choose to accept the terms of your world, or she can leave. Her presence is an enhancement to your life, not the center of it. When you text her immediately after a date, you are operating in her frame. You are seeking her validation. When you wait, when you continue with your work, your training, your purpose, you are establishing your frame. Your time and attention are valuable resources, not freely given. Frame control is not about being an asshole. It is about being the unshakable center of your own universe. Your emotional state is not dependent on her approval. She will test your frame constantly. She will use emotional appeals, guilt, and passive aggression to see if you will break and collapse back into her frame. Every time you hold your frame, her respect for you grows. Every time you break, her attraction wanes. Women are not attracted to weakness. They are attracted to strength. And the ultimate strength is the control of one's own reality. Holding frame is the defensive posture. But there is also an offensive strategy, a strategy that leverages the very nature of female anxiety. This strategy is known as the dread game. Dread game is the subtle, often unspoken installation of the fear of loss. It is the constant, low-level awareness in her mind that you are a high-value man who could be lost. Comfort is the enemy of attraction. When a woman feels she has you completely, when she is 100% certain of your devotion and presence, her attraction begins to fade. The hunt is over. The prize is won. Hypergamy doesn't turn off after commitment. The instinct to seek a better option is always dormant, waiting. Comfort and predictability can reawaken it. Dread is the antidote. It is not about overt threats or manufactured drama. That is the clumsy work of amateurs. True dread game is managed through your actions. It's maintaining your own social life. It's having female friends that you treat with platonic respect, which demonstrates your abundance and pre-selection by other women. It's continuously improving yourself, getting in better shape, making more money, becoming more competent. You are a moving target, always increasing your SMV. It's being willing to walk away. This is the core of dread. She must know, not from your words, but from your actions, that you will choose your mission and your self-respect over her if forced to. You do not need her, but you choose to have her. This is the most attractive position a man can occupy. The dread game keeps the spark of attraction alive because it simulates the original conditions of the chase. It reminds the will-to life within her that this man's genetic and material resources are not guaranteed. They must be continuously earned. It keeps her focused on retaining you rather than scanning the market for a replacement. These are the mechanics: hypergamy, sexual market value, the wall, frame control, dread game. These are not theories, they are laws. We now arrive at the brutal truth, the climax of our reconstruction. You have been looking for a partner, a teammate, an equal, who will join you in your quest for purpose and transcendence. That is not what female nature is designed for. The feminine imperative is not transcendence, but security. Her instinct is not to build an empire with you, but to move into the empire you have already built. She is not your co-pilot on a journey into the unknown. She is a passenger who will only board the ship if it is seaworthy and heading toward a desirable port. To expect her to share your masculine drive for legacy, for struggle, for conquest, is to expect a fish to fly. It is a fundamental misunderstanding of the creature's nature. Female nature is a constant, a force to be understood and managed. It is not a partner in your quest. It is a force of nature, like gravity or time. It can be harnessed for your benefit, or it can crush you if you ignore it. This realization is the true red pill. It is a bitter pill to swallow, because it means you are fundamentally alone in your ultimate mission. But in this aloneness, there is supreme freedom. you are now free from the need for her validation. Her approval is not the goal. Her attraction is a byproduct of you achieving the goal. The goal is your own evolution. What, then, is the new paradigm? What does the awakened man do with this knowledge? He does not become bitter or resentful. Resentment is the emotional signature of a man who still wishes the game were different. The master accepts the rules as they are and plays to win. First, you declare war on your own weakness. You commit to the relentless daily process of increasing your own sexual market value. You forge your body in the gym until it becomes a testament to your discipline. You attack your career or business with a singular focus until your resources become undeniable. You cultivate a mind that is sharp, knowledgeable, and decisive. You stop consuming and start creating. You build a life of purpose so compelling that a woman's presence is merely a pleasant addition, not a necessary component for your happiness. Second, you become the absolute master of your frame. Your reality is your kingdom, and you are its sole sovereign. Your principles are non-negotiable. You learn to say no without guilt. You learn to set boundaries and enforce them, not with anger, but with immediate, dispassionate action. You understand that your attention is your most valuable asset, and you dispense it with extreme prejudice. Third, you view relationships through the Schopenhauerian lens. You see them as a biological contract, not a fairy tale. You appreciate a woman for her beauty, her femininity, her unique energy, but you are never deluded about the primal mechanics operating beneath the surface. You use your understanding of hypergamy and dread not to manipulate, but to maintain the health and polarity of the relationship. You keep the fire lit by never allowing the comfort of certainty to extinguish it. You provide strength, and in return, you receive her loyalty and femininity. It is a clean transaction. The final stage of this evolution is detachment. It is the Stoic understanding that the only thing you truly control is your own mind and your own actions. Her moods, her desires, her ultimate choices, they are external to you. You can influence them, but you can never control them. Your power comes from focusing entirely on what is within your control, your purpose, your discipline, and your frame. By mastering yourself, you master the game. You are no longer a puppet of the will. You are the architect of your own reality.